think they're going to be more willing to do what it takes to win, to succeed. So I wouldn't worry about Christian Brown, honestly. I wouldn't worry. I definitely,
Well, we've got two
Tim
Bill Self
Hardaway.
products, and they suck.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about are they?
Man,
I was hating on Grady, man. Damn.
Yeah. Well, either way, I think I'm
Yeah,
not talking
get
about
off
how
of
good.
Grady's.
I'm not talking about how good they are. I'm talking about their ability to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Their ability to.
Can
play.
they keep them all, Swiper? Can they keep them all? I know they might go second apron.
Yeah, they
can. If they win a title this year, they're probably going to try.
That's the thing. They can. The problem with the apron is, man, it's so dumb. Like, I can't wait for it to be over. I think it's 31, 32. If you get in the second apron, you can't aggregate salaries.
You can't do anything, basically.
You can lose draft picks if you're a repeater. And then you also pay an exorbitant luxury tax penalty if you
lose draft picks. Your draft pick goes to the end of the first round.
After you said in 32, you think they're going to make changes to it?
Well, I think they have to. I think they're going to amend the 65-game rule within the CBA. So within the CBA window, I think that gets amended. That's my hypothesis. No one said it to me. I think that's my hypothesis. The next one is, I think Jokic, Wemby, and Giannis. Remember, Giannis brought this up the other day. He said that there's a chance where none of the four make all NBA this year, which is Luka himself, Jokic, and Wemby. And I think that obviously is not the intent of the rule, is for those players. But I think that the downside of it is, and I've said this I think me and Penn talked about this too, and Damien, I don't know what your opinion on this is. Obviously, you weren't around at that point. The CBA was put in place not for limiting talent acquisition. It was put in place mostly for owners to have an excuse not to pay their entire roster. That's what it would put. And then what you could do is,
it was played off as a small market play, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you could take people's salary, i.e. Josh Giddey, i.e. Cam Thomas, i.e. Jonathan Kuminga, and maybe Peyton Watson if he gets squeezed, i.e. Austin Reeves 4 years ago. All you got to do is, in restricted free agency, we can't pay you this amount of money. So literally we just shrink your contract down to $12 million, $15 million, and then we can use this as a way to improve the roster, stay underneath the second apron and the first apron, all this other stuff. The Celtics were a repeater in the second apron ox. They had a $400 million tax bill on top of the salary cap. That's insanity. There's no reason for the NBA to be this difficult financially. And especially, Ox, if you got people buying trees and whatnot to circumvent the salary cap, which is not just the Clippers, other teams are doing this, then it's also just what are we doing this for? People are already getting around the rule. Why would we have this rule in place? People are actually trying to follow the law. So I just think that's a bad situation.
And I don't want to get too deep into this again because I know we went back and forth on it a lot last week, I think, or maybe the week before. But the 65-game rule, I don't think that needs to change. And even with what Giannis said about it, though, I mean, even himself, he said, I mean, what he missed 65 games once so far in his career. I mean, he's played 65 games most of twice. Okay, most of his career. So that's,
No, I'm not saying something to you. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's made it more most of his career. I don't think this needs to change. Jokic just made it more often than not. You know what I mean? And my thing is, if you start getting older and you start breaking down, and the young guys are coming up behind you and they're still playing and they're making it happen. I mean, out with the old, in with the new. You know what I'm saying? Get your accolades while you're still young.
So a couple quick things. One, Swipey, you said $400 million tax bill.
I believe it was a luxury tax bill that they had to pay.
No, that was not. So it was supposed to go from 50 million to 150 million. That would have been their actual tax bill. So that's the first thing. Second thing, you said loss of draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Second apron, yes, it's lost draft picks over time.
You don't lose draft picks. Your draft picks move to the end of the first round. Is that not correct?
No, I believe you can correct me. I'm 80% sure about that you lose draft rights later on down the line. I believe that's what the penalty is, but I could be wrong. I'll leave myself open for that.
The CBA runs till 29-30.
29-30?
29-30.
That too.
It's still
like the number you were referencing of 400 million was their tax bill plus their salary. That's the number you're thinking about.
It's still crazy multiplier though.
I mean, it is, but that's the repeated cost of, having very expensive players. I mean, you get to, if you think about what owners are making, and then you think about franchise valuations, the the insane valuation uptick of winning championships. Like, I don't think Joe Lacob has to think twice about what kind of a financial investment he's made into the Golden State Warriors. I mean, that has paid him back 10 times more than it's paid back Steph, Clay, or any one of those players, 20 times as much, right? So again, I think the CBA makes sense personally. I think the apron rules make a lot of sense. Personally, I think yes, it is very owner friendly because it does prevent owners from overpaying guys, but I think it does help smaller market teams compete. It does help the Indianas, the Milwaukees, the cap conscious teams that don't have billionaire owners who can just spend into the apron. There are actual restrictions now.
Well, unless they, like, for instance, if the Charlotte Hornets hit on all three of their players, so LaMelo, Brandon, and Khan, that's their cap.
Mhm.
In those three players right there. Obviously, the Nuggets are already there. The OKC will be there. We're going to get 2 years down the line, and OKC is going to be teetering because they're just now they've replaced it with a lot of new picks. Obviously, the Raptors are going to be in. They're going to have to make some decisions. Obviously, in the long term, just about a lot of their deals, and a lot of their money. The Bucks, obviously, they're screwed. They already, their money's already gone.
The Raptors aren't a small market team.
Sure, that I guess technically Toronto and Canada and all that. But like, yeah, I guess
also Rogers, like one of the richest owners in the league. Toronto, one of the biggest cities in. I mean, I'm not sure if you know this, but
no,
in
I
the
know.
World,
Yeah, but I'm saying Toronto.
So how are they a small market team?
Well, I think you're getting emotional about it.
I'm not getting emotional. It's just logically weird to throw Indiana, Milwaukee, Toronto together. It's just a really weird thing. It would almost be like if I said, I don't know, Somerville, New Jersey, and Denver, Colorado.
I already saw Denver, Colorado is a mid market, so it's not a big market. Denver, Colorado.
I think they're both mid markets. I don't think we need to too much.
Yeah, but Somerville, New Jersey is a non-market. You see the point?
You said who?
I said Somerville, New Jersey is a non-market.
Do they have an NBA team?
My point. No, they don't. That's the point.
Oh, okay. But yeah, anyway, Utah, like, I think organizations like that, obviously, Provo's a big city too, technically. Utah, whatever. Like, I think those teams, those situations, I do think it is it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to develop and draft talent and then keep that talent long term in these particular situations with this CBA. I don't like the CBA. I do think it changes Hawks. But I also don't like the way the CBA is structured in any league, from the NFL to the MLB, even into the NBA. Like, they put these crazy stipulations in there about, like, oh, we won't test you for marijuana. Now the players have to agree with that. They won't test you for marijuana, but we'll take a larger percentage of the cap. Like, that's
and
crazy.
Some of these role players that should be paid sort of adequately have to sort of sign minimums and things because of all the restrictions. But the second apron pick stuff, it says here that the first round pick moves straight to the end of the first round if a team stays in the second apron for 3 of 5 years. So no team's doing that, really, I don't think. Boston's a good example.
I'm trying to think who's in the second apron right now that's currently playing. Do we know? Let me see.
I think Golden State in the second apron.
Cleveland is deep into the second apron.
That's right. They are. They're definitely in the second apron. So Phoenix is $25 million in the second apron. Minnesota is $16 million into the second apron, and then Boston, are they still $4 million into the second apron? Apparently,
they ducked it, from what I remember. But let's see.
Well, I'm looking at for 24-25.
But we're in 25-26.
So then we have, it's just Cleveland. They're $22 million in. That's tough. That's a runner, man. Like, you have to run away from the second apron, man.
There's a few teams in the first as well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the hoes go ham. You ain't never seen hoops all hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.